Mr. President, the Americans are once again being asked to foot the bill for yet another very urgent bailout, as it's termed. In October, Congress voted for an unprecedented $700 billion bailout of Wall Street, and now much of the same alarmist rhetoric is being employed to pressure members to act quickly. The latest bailout demand making the rounds in Washington is for the big three in auto industry. The Democrats would have you believe the proposed bailout is all about saving jobs. But having been in Washington long enough, my instincts led me to dig deeper, where I unearthed green roots hiding beneath the bailout rhetoric. It now appears that much of what you have heard in the media about the auto bailout being about jobs has been misleading. In fact, there are usual suspects working behind the scenes to subvert the auto bailout and ultimately betray auto workers. Now, these are the facts. The proposed $25 billion bailout of Detroit now appears to have been hijacked by the powerful environmental lobby. When I say powerful, it is by far the most powerful lobby, the most funded lobby, those out in Hollywood that I've referred to many times, the MoveOn.org, the George Soros, the Michael Moores. They talk about millions and millions of dollars. They are indeed the powerful lobby. I suggest that there was an idea that came to fruition from the November 19th Wall Street Journal. They ask in this Wall Street Journal editorial, when is $25 billion in taxpayers' cash insufficient to bail out Detroit's lawmakers? The answer, and I'm quoting now, when the money is the tool of the congressional industrial policy to turn GM, Ford, and Chrysler into agents of the Sierra Club and other green lobbies. According to the Wall Street Journal, the auto bailout has degenerated into a tool to, quote, make Detroit a subsidiary of the Sierra Club. Now, we hear proponents of the auto bailout endlessly saying this is all about jobs. But the truth is, this bailout appears to be about environmental lobbies taking over the U.S. auto industry. The Wall Street Journal explains further, and I'm quoting again, Mr. President, in their public statements, proponents describe the bailout as an attempt to save jobs, American manufacturing, and middle-income way of life. But look closely, and you can see that what's really going on is an attempt to use taxpayers' money to remake Detroit in the image of the modern environmental movement. Given a choice between greens and blue-collar workers, Congress puts greens first. That was an interesting quote in the article that really has delved into this thing and talked about what the real motivation is behind it. Now, how did this attempt at a green takeover of Detroit come about? Congress approved $25 billion for Detroit earlier this year for green retooling. President Bush, when this came up, the need came up to have the $25 billion, he proposed to revise that $25 billion, the same amount of money, and allow it to be used for Detroit's general purposes by eliminating the green conditions. In other words, the amount of money there that everyone's so anxious to get in there that says this is going to resolve the problem is there, and it's available today. But it's been rejected. And that just shows you that the choice between green and blue collar is very clear. The Wall Street Journal reported, and I'm quoting again, Democratic leaders refused. They insisted instead that the Bush administration give Detroit another $25 billion in cash. So let's keep in mind, this is the second $25 billion we're talking about, not the first. The Bush administration's proposal is unacceptable, declared my colleague, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. The Wall Street Journal asked, and I'm quoting again now, if the problem is so urgent, why keep the green chains on that first $25 billion? General Motors, in particular, is saying that it may have to declare bankruptcy by the end of the year without a taxpayer capital injection. Aren't jobs at stake? Again, this is the choice that's being given.